Hi, hi. I am Sveta from homestagingstepbystep.com, and I'm trying this new life producer out. I'm Sveta from homestagingstepbystep.com in case you haven't heard it the first time because I'm still getting used to this life producer thing, and I wanted to talk to you today. I was just working on my improving my presentation for my upcoming workshop next week, which I will mention very shortly. But while I was doing that, a thought crossed my mind, and I realized that I've been asked several times in the last few weeks about how people can start preparing their house for sale when they're home, homeschooling, doing all sorts of activities, and basically having families and people, and specifically kids that they need to entertain and educate. So that becomes kind of a difficult task to be thinking about staging their house for sale at the same time. But I did think of some things, and I came up with more than I thought I would, at least 5 things that you can start doing. So maybe you're not putting your house for sale right now, but as of today, I know that there is a lot more restrictions that are being lifted. So things might be going back to normal or semi normal kind of soon. So if you were thinking of listing your house for sale in the spring, maybe you should not be delaying it for too long. So the house will require some preparation. Pretty much all of the houses require preparation, and I'm seeing people watching me. You can say hi and let me know who you are. That would be very kind. Please comment. And so I made a list, and I'm looking down to make sure that I don't forget anything of things that you can do right now to prepare your house for sale, even if you're going to be putting it for sale in a month or 2 or 3. So the first thing that is obvious is you can work outside, and that is curb appeal. And so the curb appeal is not just the front. I mean, we're used to talking about it as the front of your house. So think of whatever people are going to be seeing when they drive by or they walk by your house. Maybe go to the other side of the street and look at your house objectively, look at the grounds, look at the driveway, look at the front and the lawn and everything, and do whatever you can do right now to fix it. So maybe your mailbox needs to be changed, maybe your windows need to be washed, or maybe you just need to do your lawn and plant some really beautiful flowers, or put a couple of flower pots in front of your door. So that is something that could be done easily. Now, don't forget to do the same thing in the front, but also in the back and on the sides of the house. So people are going to be looking everywhere. So don't leave the garbage cans lying around. Put away kids' bicycles, or at least find a place so they're not super visible. And then also work on your backyard, because you're home, so you have time. Hopefully the weather is better wherever you are, because today in Montreal it was pretty damn awful. So we went for a walk with my husband, like we always do every day. And when we walked out, so it was raining, so we waited, and then it was sunny, and so we were dressed very warmly because it is cold. We went out, and in the middle of our walk, it started to snow, and then it was hail, and then it was rain, and then it was hail again, and then snow again. So it was really, really crazy, crazy weather. But if you are in a better climate than I am, then definitely work on your curb appeal, work on your garden, work on the outside of your house, and be critical and objective of everything that you are seeing. So that's something that you can start working on right now. Now, inside, there are things that you can do, and the biggest and probably the most annoying and painful and long thing is decluttering. And this is super, super important, because when people buy houses, they really buy the space. So, you need to show them, doesn't matter how big or how small your house is, you need to show them that space. So you probably something that you need to do, but you're delaying it. So maybe you can get the kids involved and do it as a family activity to make it easier. So maybe you can just take one room at a time and start working methodically on one room at a time. So for example, you can start with your closets, declutter the clothes if you don't wear them. If you haven't worn them for at least a year, then you probably will not wear them again. So probably you can get rid of them. And the same thing for the kids' toys. I'm sure you'll find lots of toys that your kids don't need anymore, and you can put them aside to give away to charity when this crazy situation is going to change. The same thing goes for paperwork. You can keep decluttering your office or whatever, wherever you're using as an office, or wherever you see an accumulation of paperwork that is not necessary. So that can be another thing that you can do. And then I would say be ruthless in terms of the general decisions to simplify your life. I think today it's one thing that life has taught us in the last few weeks, and I promise I won't get philosophical about it, but we are down to basics, and we are realizing that we have a lot of stuff, and maybe a lot of stuff that we don't really need, that we don't really use, and that we can do without. So if that's the case, then in your next house, wherever you're going to go after, you're probably going to feel very good if you have less things. And that's something that I find as we move on with life, less is better. And in home staging, we actually have a saying that is less is more. So don't be afraid to start putting away all of the stuff that is lying around, but you're not really using it every day and you can do without. So it could be some collections, it could be some sentimental things that people gave you, but you didn't really want them, but you didn't really know what to do with them. It could be your junk room that just magically accumulates all the things that you don't really want. It could be, and stuff in the basement. So just start clearing things out. For now, you can maybe store things in your garage, and then when things go back to normal, you'll be able to dispose of those things properly, maybe throw some things out, maybe give things away to charity, maybe have a garage sale if you have the time for that. That's what I'm giving for. I have lots of things from my old inventory that I want to sell, but I'm waiting for things to get better so I can have a garage sale. So decluttering is super, super important. That would be thing number 2. So first thing is work on the outside. So everything that has to do with your front yard and your backyard and your driveway and your front door. Then start decluttering slowly, day by day, whatever you can get to. And the thing number 3, which is 3 and 4, but anyway, let's talk about the big repairs. So you probably know that there are certain things that you need to get done around the house and you never have the time to get it done. So maybe start making a list. Even if you can't get the quotes right now, you can start making a list of things that you need to get done. And those could be, pretty major things. Maybe it's something like cleaning your carpets, or maybe it's, washing the windows, of course. It could be maybe you need some repairs like the roof, or maybe you have foundation cracks, which are super important. And if you had some humidity or water leakage in the basement, that's something that you really need to take care of before you put the house for sale. So even if you cannot actually do the work right now, well, at least start making that list, because it is important that you get to it as soon as possible. So that would be your number 3. Number 4 would be a similar thing, but that's a honey-do list. So that's something that's smaller fixes and repairs that you know that you needed to get done but never got done. So it could be doing some paint, it could be repairing maybe some missing light bulbs, or a loose door handle, or maybe you have a leaky faucet, or maybe you need to clean the caulking around your bathtub. So all those little things, you can take a couple of hours and go around your house and be very, very critical, and make a list of all the small things that could make someone think that the house is not really well maintained, and it's very psychological. So make a list of all of those things. If you or your partner or anybody in your family is handy, then this is a perfect time to actually get around to it and take care of all those small repairs. If you don't have anybody who can do it, well, at least you have your list ready. So as soon as it's possible, you can get someone to come in like a handyman, and you already have your list prepared, and you can get some quotes to see what the investment is going to be. So that's your number 4. And then the last one, which is, I left it to the last because it's probably the one that you're going to like the most. And that is really a furniture placement or furniture rearrangement. And that is something that is a lot of fun, and you can be creative, and again, you can involve your kids. And sometimes you can just try to think out of the box. And it's not because you're used to placing your furniture a certain way that's the best way to optimize your spaces. So think about how a buyer would see your house. So somebody who doesn't know you, somebody who's got no emotional attachment, when she or he walks in, you have to have the flow around the furniture. So you don't want to be bumping into things. In the bedroom, you would ideally have the bed positioned in a way that you can see the foot of the bed when you walk in. In your living room, is your furniture positioned in the best possible way that's attractive, that makes people want to sit down and talk, and as a group. Or maybe you can do some things and rearrange your furniture in a different way. You don't have to have furniture, lining the walls. That's one of the things that I teach in your living room. I know it's a difficult concept to grasp, but a lot of times furniture that's actually sits closer to the middle of the room makes a room look a lot bigger. But anyway, I could go on about this for a long time, so I won't right now. But that is another thing that you can do. So if there are certain rooms that you feel that are not set up in the most advantageous way for sale, then you can move furniture around. Sometimes it can be as simple as changing the position of your dining room table. And we had it done in one of my clients, and it was really funny. So they were used to having their dining room table in a small dining room, and they had it, in a certain position, and it was too tight, and it was so that you couldn't really walk around it. So when I saw it, all I had to ask them to do is to move it by 90 degrees. So, and they did, and they couldn't believe the difference. So they just turned it around. So, instead of going this way, it was going that way. So, and it made a whole huge difference. And they were like wondering why they never thought of it. So all of that to say, so those are the 5 things that you could be doing right now and preparing your house for sale slowly. And if you're wondering about what the cost might be of the investment to stage your lived in or occupied house, if you want to do the staging yourself, remember you can save a lot of money. You don't have to be a professional decorator, but you do need some method, and you do need to know what to do and how to do it and what the priorities are. So all that to say is that I'd like to invite you to my upcoming workshop. It's absolutely free. It's online, and it's going to be happening on April 28th or April 29th only. And the workshop is to how to plan your home staging budget today without being overwhelmed and confused. So it's about an hour long. You'll be able to ask me questions, and the goal of the workshop is to provide you with the actual real tool that you'll be able to download, and it's yours to keep, which it will teach you all the steps you need to take and how to establish your own home staging budget for your own project that will be realistic, that it will be effective, and it's something that will be within your personal constraints. So you'll be happy to live with the budget that you decide, and at the same time that it will give you the biggest return on your investment. So the workshops are going to be happening on April 28th and April 29th. I will be putting the link right in the description, and you need to register because the places are limited. So I hope I'll see you next week. My name is Sveta from homestagingstepbystep.com, and I'll see you soon.